Emotional, yes. A lot of emotion.
A lot of emotions from the moment you saw the doors to the outfits, how good they looked.
Oh, yeah.
The sets and all the songs. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't really get emotional until the end, until they were leaving and watching them walk down that hallway and go away again. It was I was sobbing. I was not okay. So
they closed the door on us. It was sad.
It was really sad. Pretty sad because you could tell they were sad.
Yes.
They couldn't see us. That connection is there, but it's not the same.
But they did tell us to stay there. Just stay there.
They did.
Listen, I watched my purple screen turn black. That's how long I stayed. I was didn't want to shut it off. No.
Really funny what the translation was compared to what it really should have been, according to people on Twitter. That's not what it really means. We shouldn't just stay there. That's not what it means.
A lot of people took that literally, though.
Don't
Right.
What's next?
It was more like a wait for us kind of a situation, right? Yeah.
And let's face it, we will wait until the end of time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I thought maybe they were going to do a V Live or something. That would have been cute.
I would have appreciated one of those.
Yeah, that would have been great.
But then I think about how emotional we all were and how drained we were. And they're just as emotional. And those poor guys put on a performance, right? And they didn't have Army cheering them to give them that energy that they to get from us. So I get it. They probably passed out.
Yeah. Or they needed a moment just to feel their feelings. Because that was really the first time probably ever that they've performed without us there.
For no one, seemingly.
Right. I can't imagine. Susan and I were just talking about how they should have had the entire Big Hit staff there doing the fan chants or something.
Yes.
Yeah, or some pre-recorded audience cheering from one of their concerts. I mean, just in the lull after they finished, not during the whole thing, but I felt like that might have helped them not to just hear silence.
Right.
Yeah.
Silence is
I
deafening.
still wish they could figure out a way. If they could do it for The Voice, I just feel like there's a way they could do it for them. And honestly, if this is going to be the concerts of the future for the next 6 months to a year until we get a vaccine or whatever is going to happen from this, then it may be something they need to figure out. But we all have access to stuff like this where we can see each other, and they have it where you can have a bunch of people on one at once.
They could have had another wall. Okay, they had their Army bombs on one wall, and then they could have had all of our little photos on another, just a wall of Army. That would have been great.
Where
Susan, didn't
they
you
actually
recommend
can see
that
we
once?
are here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did.
Yeah, I had this fantasy that there would be this circular stage and they would be surrounded by a huge wall. They would have Galaxy phones on it, like the museum that they went to, where they were playing with the phones. I was thinking we could have some pre-recorded footage of each of us cheering to one of the songs. If they gave us a set list ahead of time, we could have potentially given them some footage, which would have been insanely hard probably for Big Hit to deal with. But I was just thinking of a way to have our faces on there.
That's a great idea.
Plus,
Somebody
I think
get
a lot
Big
of
Hit on the phone.
Yeah. Let me get my speed dial. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah,
I pay them enough money.
More phone promo for them.
Right.
Yesterday confirmed for me, A, how much I love BTS, and B, how much I hate Corona. It hit me yesterday. I hate this. I've hung in there this whole time, but yesterday was just almost too much for me emotionally. We should be there. We should be seeing this live. Darn it, Boy with Love should have been a surprise.
Yes.
Can you imagine being in the stadium and seeing, oh my God, that's what they're doing with the umbrellas. And the new remix.
It was amazing.
And just how it started. First, it started just kind of normal, and I thought, okay, so they're going to sing it, and they just have umbrellas, but then Jimin breaks out, and tell me. That was great.
It was.
Awesome.
I want to add that to my playlist.
Hope they release it because it really was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Do we want to go through the songs individually and talk about them?
Let's do it. Start with Dope.
So can I just say everybody looked amazing. But when JK came out from that door in the outfit with those strings on those pants, those are the words that I had. Just pause. There's no words. I was so surprised. What on earth is going on?
I love it when they have strings hanging out of their outfits. I don't know what it is about those strings, but they are very alluring.
I'm always afraid they're going to trip, though. I mean, especially
yeah.
the grad thing.
I like them when they hang from their sleeves.
I agree. Yeah, I really liked all their outfits. It was really interesting. I think I like their system outfits the best, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. JK with the hair in over one eye is a whole thing that I am completely
The
here
mood.
for.
Yes.
It is. It's just, he has just grown up. I've blinked. Now he's all grown up, just saving everybody with his amazing beauty.
He's working it.
He really is working it.
Yeah, I was so glad he grew his hair out again because it was so short before.
Speaking of short hair, though, Yoongi.
Oh, that undercut.
And the undercut. Oh.
Ooh,
I hate him so much. So over him.
I never knew
my life all the time.
I never knew how much I loved an undercut until yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, can we keep that cut forever? I have to trim that baby every week. Stylist Nunez. Oh my gosh, where do I apply?
Yeah, all their hair was awesome, I have to say. It was amazing.
And something about brunette Bangtan.
Yes, I love dark-haired.
Yes.
The dark-haired boys. And I wonder if they are happier with it, not having to have their hair all different colors. Just,
it's probably got to be better on their scalp and stuff, right? All the dyeing and the bleaching and it's probably good for their hair to be kind of natural.
Have a little break.
Yeah.
So they can keep it forever. Yeah.
Ideally, we would love a bald Bangtan though, but we don't want them to be bald if they don't want to be.
Exactly. It needs to be their choice.
Right.
I was so excited when they broke up into Boys with Fun. I screamed.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The cha, what's up, Bangtan Sanyandan.
I had just listened to that in the car on my way home from work the day before. I mean, I had just heard it not even 12 hours before. So when they started, I was yes, this is amazing.
Yes, I missed that song, and I'm so happy that we got to see them perform it today. And it wasn't, we were watching some old concert footage. It was, they're doing it today now.
Right. Jeannie said about Post Malone, it's the best drive song, but Boys with Fun also a really good drive song.
Definitely. That'll inject energy into any day. I probably should have listened to that when I was really tired afterwards.
What's next?
I like it. We loved it.
I was glad to see things that we don't see them perform as often. Some of us, because we've been watching some of the older content together, we maybe have seen them performing it recently, but we haven't, like Jay said, we haven't seen them current day performing it recently.
Yes.
So I definitely enjoyed the playing around that they did with some of their older songs.
Yeah.
I would agree, because older Bangtan is, I mean, I love it. But also just seeing them now versus seeing them then, it's a whole different experience.
It is.
Especially some of the youngers, right? JK was baby JK.
Yes.
And now he's not baby JK.
With his acne and his just, I was watching a couple of videos and he was just so young and going through puberty and they were picking on him about it. And I was just like, wow, he was really young. And Jimin was a muscle man of the group.
Yeah. They've all blossomed before our very eyes.
Definitely.
Yes, in all the best ways.
Yeah. And then
we got just one day next. Is that what was?
Just one day. I love how they were so at ease and relaxed with those songs, performing them.
Agreed. Was it I Like It that they sang with the selfie sticks though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, when did that happen? Because that was an entirely different experience. They gave every person their own sort of Delulu YN moment right there.
Yes.
They were, I was just like, whoa, what's going on here?
And I love that they had all the different screenshots from their cameras at one point.
Yes.
And I
that was
just
cute.
enjoyed seeing everything happen all at once.
Did any of you watch all 6 of the cameras, or did you pick one to focus on?
I was
watched
afraid.
the main cam.
I was afraid I would lose my connection or something. I would break something. So I was like, no, I'm not touching anything. I'm just going to leave it right here.
Yeah, only main cam.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't smart. I did all 6 cams, and I kept having to refresh my screen. But I just wanted to see all 6 cams. I wanted to see all versions, even though I suffered through it.
Yeah, I think Crystal has decided to upgrade her equipment now that we've gone through Bang Bang Con the live.
Did you have your Army Bomb connected? Because I heard a lot of people say that they had problems with the stream with their Army Bomb connected, but I didn't have one, so it was not an issue.
I didn't have mine connected.
I did, and I didn't have any trouble with the stream, but the Army Bomb didn't really do anything. For the first song, it did. And then after that, it never did anything else.
I wonder if he got disconnected, because I noticed
I checked, and I even disconnected it and reconnected it. So I don't know if it was just too many people or...
I noticed the chat screen on the right froze. It stopped working for me after the first 5 minutes or so.
Same.
I think Big Hit froze it when they actually started the concert.
Oh.
Because I was on a call with 2 other people, and we were all, our chats were all different. Like, we were not seeing the same thing in the chat. And then, which makes sense, right? Like, you can't have all those people probably on one server. But then they all froze at the same time. And so we're reading whatever the little string that was there, and then after the concert, it started going again. So I think Big Hit just was, or the company that did the concert
did it, yeah.
was, we can't handle, if you're going to have this many people. Right, we can't handle them. And people were, I mean, you guys saw, right? It was just so fast you couldn't keep up with there was no conversing with Army.
Right. Well, and plus you wanted to pay attention to the boys.
I wanted to ask if everyone had subs, because I didn't.
I did.
I only had subs for the first minute or so, and then they went away. But then later, when I talked to you guys and realized you guys had subs, I turned my subs off and turned them back on. And then for the ending part, I did have subs. I guess that was the key.
Mine says off, but it would not go on. I kept pressing and pressing, but nothing was happening. And my daughter, we watched on the same account, and she had no subs either.
Weird.
I had some, but they seemed quite a bit delayed.
They were delayed, but I did have them. I did, at one point it turned itself off and I did have to refresh the whole thing, but that was before the concert started. So I was watching just the little map and the resolution changed, and it's just all the things that I set just kind of reset itself for some reason. So I refreshed the whole thing and then it was fine, because my multi-view thing went away where I couldn't pick a camera angle. So, but then after I did that, everything was fine.
And I kind of had technology issues. I was watching the concert on my phone, and for some reason I didn't have an option on my phone to click on subs. So I was basically watching it without subs, but it was fine. I love just watching them. And then I was trying to use the computer to connect my Army Bomb. So I was just using different technologies for different reasons. And backtracking to the Army Bomb, I kind of had the same issue. At first I thought it got disconnected. I guess they didn't have the connection for that particular song. So all it did was just, it blinked slowly in purple colors. And then when the song would come on, then went all whacked. It was super bright. But it wasn't throughout the whole concert. So it was kind of like a hit and miss with the Army Bomb. I probably could have done without it, but it's still fun just to have it connected. But yeah, and then that's when I saw someone comment about the subs. I thought, wait, they have subs? But it's fine now.
At least eventually we'll get the full concert with the right subs on it.
Yeah.
I screen capped a lot and sent her things, so she knows most of what it said. Because I was just constantly taking screen grabs of everything. So pretty much like the 500 pictures in my phone are nothing but Bang Bang Con the live. Much like the original Bang Bang Con that was not live. That was just recorded videos. So between me and Crystal, like my phone is just just a sea of Bang Bang Con.
You know, although I watched it without subs, I don't think I missed anything. I enjoyed it just the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I read what they say when it's out again. But this time I didn't feel as if I missed anything. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The subs will be just ice cream on the cake.
Right.
I agree, Martina, because it was very expressive already in their facial expressions, so I was able to follow along with what they were saying. Did appreciate the pictures of the screenshot. I guess that confirms what I was thinking they were saying.
Especially the part
What
where
did you
Jim
realize?
with his legs all jiggly.
Oh,
He was nervous.
from walking around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
that was
that.
funny.
Yeah,
I
he said
love
he
that
was
set.
nervous. Bless his heart. That set was great.
Yeah, that
What
may
is
be
the-
my new favorite set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
was like an Escher drawing or something. It was
Yes.
so cool.
I get motion sickness really easily, so I couldn't really watch. I just had to glance over and then I'd look away because it was just going in a circle because they were going in a circle, which is fine. It was really pretty to look at, but I just couldn't look at it for too long because it made me nauseous.
Well, and if you think about what song were they singing, Jamais Vu,
Right.
it was
Right.
perfect. The
It's
things
perfect.
they do are just so next level. I don't think we fully grasp just how creative they are. Everything is interwoven. It has meaning and symbolism. It was just, I thought it was fabulous.
Yes, it definitely was. And I don't know why it was, especially when Jim sang. Of course, we've all heard all of them sing, but for some reason watching him, trying to exert the full force into the high note, it was just amazing. Maybe because I was watching him, I felt that exertion that he was trying to portray out into the high notes, and so it felt like it pierced through my heart in a good way. I don't know. And I would look at Jungkook, and I guess it kind of comes more naturally to him, so he doesn't have to express that exertion as much as Jin does. It was just different watching each of them perform their part, but it was amazing though. I loved it.
So I watched it and I enjoyed it. I paid attention to the shows that the front and the back, and I went to Twitter and it was, oh, okay, so that's what all that was about. So I have a different perspective on it this morning when I read what it actually was about, because I just enjoyed it. And I was just listening for Hobie in the back because he sounded so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was a little bit dizzying around, but I kind of understood why they were doing that.
Such a simplistic set, but so filled with meaning.
Yes.
And I agree about Hobie. He sounded amazing. That song is just great anyway. And the three of them together, I'm here for the JJ Cook.
Oh, yeah. They always deliver on the vocals.
What did you guys think of Respect?
Aw, so good.
Yoongi,
Like, so good.
yes. Yoongi's outfit was just a showstopper.
I was dead. Just
His smile, when he broke out in that huge gummy smile and him and Namjoon almost started laughing, that was peak happiness. It was so good.
with BTS, that's the laziest choreography ever, but it was so fitting for Yoongi and
the
Junie.
fact that the second verse, the choreography was supposed to change, and then Yoongi just kept on with the choreography they had started with. So June was like, oh, okay. I thought we were. So he just joined it in. And I was like, hey, finally something I can join in and dance with.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was laughing so hard when Jay made a comment when we were chatting that finally a choreography I can follow. And I was laughing so hard because it was one of the most simple things I've ever seen him do. It was so cute.
It was really good.
They were so good at it.
That was really great. It was a fun set. I loved all the disco-y kind of lights and that old school feel to it. And I especially loved the very end of it where they made it look like a video recording where they're doing their little back and forth at the end. That was just perfect.
Love that, especially after having seen them talk about the song as part of Festa. I thought that was great. It was a ribbon on the package.
Yes.
I agree. And I just loved how Yoongi said his song, he wanted to show the side that it's not as serious. And so they really portrayed it in such a fun way. It was just so much fun watching them and seeing how Yoongi was so relaxed and then Junie just following along with whatever Yoongi was doing.
Yes. It was perfect. I love their chemistry together when they perform.
It was great.
I definitely feel like that one was one of those at the end of the game where it's achievement unlocked.
You have leveled up.
That's funny.
And then we had Friends, Veman.
Oh,
No.
Melissa. I know you
I
have a lot of
swear.
thoughts about it. Let's hear it.
There's no thoughts to have. It just, as soon as the first little couple of notes came and then Jimin started to sing, just tears. And I sat there and cried throughout the entire thing. And I don't know why, except for like their relationship is really sweet, right?
It is.
But it hit me someplace really deep, and I can't explain it because I've listened to the song so many times and, oh, it's so cute, but never like that. And then when Jimin handed him a dumpling,
Yes.
I had gotten it a little bit together, and then nope, it was waterworks again. I just so many good things in their school uniforms and the backpacks and
And the
even
pinkies.
the pinkies and the signs in the back. One was their bus stop from school and one was their bus stop for where they get off to practice. It was a lot. It was a lot.
And the way they harmonized together was so beautiful. They're just like, they're amazing.
Yeah.
That was the performance I wanted to see. I wanted to see Jimin and V perform that song because I love their friendship. I have listened to that song. Sometimes I put it on loop. I would just listen to it over and over. So me singing it, I smiled from beginning to end. I was just a typical idiot, just smiling away. And it was really good. And especially at the very end, the little cute, well, they were cute right through, but at very end where they said that they're not going to argue again.
Yeah.
They're not going to fight again. That was cute.
Oh,
Yes.
that was perfect.
So many feelings.
I watched that particular part where they said, let's not fight again. I was watching that at that point as a mom. My babies aren't going to fight anymore. They're getting along. They've overcome their obstacles. It was such a beautiful moment. And then the hand holding, they put their hearts on a plate for all of us in that song. And to see them perform it for the first time just added a whole dimension to the song. And I don't think we're ever going to listen to it the same again.
Yeah, not me. I'll forever be emotional now.
I was so happy we got to at least get a few seconds of UGG and 0 o'clock.
When they started UGG, I was like, Susan is losing her ever-loving mind right now. I just knew it. Oh my God.
And when Tay got up and started rapping with them, I was like, and I said this at the last time we were together, please, Big Hit, give him something to rap. He wants to rap so bad. Make him part of the rap line, at least just for one song.
I know, it's so good. And then poor Junie trying to deal with the microphone and the boxing gloves at the same time was so amazing.
Speaking of boxing gloves, Jimin just about killed me with just, that man oozes sexiness. Holy cannoli, that floored me. I was like, oh, we need to make this part of the choreography.
And everybody's watching him. We can't do that.
Oh, yes, you can. Just ask Army.
Do it for Army.
True. I never thought boxing could look that graceful.
That was some next level boxing.
I would go see that kind of boxing any day.
Yes.
Anytime.
Anywhere.
Yes, Corona, please let us go to the places and see the things. Please.
I love Jimin singing 0 o'clock. That was really, really beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was really
obviously
impressed.
wish we would have gotten full versions of both of those, but
I know.
I'm happy we at least got a little something.
Yeah.
Delulu me thought, oh, they're just doing a snippet now because they're going to do the full thing later. I was sad.
Aww. It was cute, though. I liked that they gave us, I think,
They know
I
what we want.
understand why they didn't, right?
Yeah.
But, they did it for us, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was a good appetizer. It was a very
It
good
was.
appetizer. I expect a 10-course meal. When we are finally reunited, I don't think we will be a sobbing mess before a full verse has been sung.
Yeah, and those concerts are going to be so long. They already don't want to leave the stage.
Right.
Whenever they're getting done, they're just not going to leave. They're just going to be forever.
And we're here for that.
I'm here for every bit of it.
Maybe it'll be 4 hours long or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fingers
the
crossed.
final for Wings was 3.5, so it's not unheard of.
That's true.
And then we had Black Swan in some outfits that folks have very good opinions of.
Those system outfits were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated. It was different seeing Black Swan in that it was still really pretty, but that original performance that they did barefoot, I don't know, it holds a special place. So they looked really good, and the set was super cool with all the stuff hanging down from the top. But the whole time I'm like, you shouldn't have your shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Tay, don't kick Kobe in the head.
Yes.
That was my other thought. Oh, please don't kick Kobe this time.
Of all of the Black Swan performances that are out there, that one is still my favorite as well.
I agree. I always go back to that original one.
Same. Oh, and then Disco Boy with Love, the version we didn't know we needed so bad.
Right. And I think sometimes we all are, can't y'all do something else? We hear Boy with Love so much, but that was such an amazing,
it was a surprise,
unique, fun version of it. And not to mention all of the stuff that went with it, those umbrellas and all of the army bombs on the wall lit up. And it just was perfect.
It was. And it made me think, I haven't been to a club in a few decades. Yes, I'm dating myself, but dang, if I wouldn't love to go to one now and hear that song playing, I would be all over that in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I was saying they need to sell those umbrellas. I need one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of. How much are those going to cost?
I'm sure we were all going to Weavers going, have they released those yet?
Right? I would buy that before I would spend $200 on those earbuds.
Oh.
I looked at those earbuds and I could not justify buying them, but I still wanted one.
Just if I was ever going to spend $200 on earbuds, it would be for BTS, but I can't. I can't do it.
Well,
so much.
I tried to say a Christmas birthday gift, but it's $200. The $200 was not bad, but I've seen it on pre-order for $245. Well, that was a no-no.
They threw in all the photo cards and all the other things. No, I'm not going to do that.
Life-size cutout, I may consider it.
Right?
Special
man.
audio message in my ear from BTS,
Right.
maybe.
Or a Zoom meeting with them.
Who has big hit on speed dial? We need a chat right now.
They're going to sell out.
Did.
We know they're going to sell out because people are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
I don't know. Those are one of those things that I wouldn't spend that much money on because I lose earbuds. I really hard on purses and things like that. So I'm not going to go buy a Coach purse or a Dooney and Burke, or mine are going to come from Target because I'm going to beat the hell out of them, taking it to work and throwing it in the car. And the same thing with earbuds. I'm just going to rip them out of my ears and throw them over to the side somewhere. So
then the dog will find them and chew on them.
I take better care of the BTS photo cards than I do of probably my own hygiene or my own phone.
Oh, Crystal, you're so cute.
She's not joking either. I had to remind her yesterday to take her allergy pill because she was dusting and stuff. And I was like, take your allergy pill so you don't get a headache. She was like, yeah.
Aww.
Oh, man.
So then we had Go-Go, and I've been so used to seeing cutesy Tay as Snow White and the rest of them and they made Go-Go sexy. I was like, where has this been all my life? Those outfits and Jimin. Wow.
It was wonderful.
It was amazing.
I need to watch that on a loop.
We got Go-Go, and then they started Amperman after that. I lost my mind because Amperman is just one of my favorites just because of the message behind it. And it's just such a fun song. So I kind of lost it a little bit between those two.
And the Ant Man himself.
Yeah, that was really cute.
The angry army bomb.
It was really cute.
Very adorable. How about that stage? That LED stage with all the changing views. Again, motion sickness, so the changing camera angle wasn't doing it for me, but I loved seeing all of the things they had going on. It looked like stuff was falling and whirling around. It was just really cool. They did a good job with that.
Speaking of army bombs, I really loved that wall. We didn't talk about it, but the wall of army bombs, I thought that was fabulous, especially when they had programmed them to say BTS and army.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
I definitely got a screen grab of that.
Same. It's my Twitter header.
Aww.
Awesome.
Forever.
Aww. Until the concert.
Until we find some more material, which will, let's face it, have forever.
So I liked Yoongi's t-shirt with the safety pin, and then to find out these designers probably were the ones who put the safety pins on. They did a good job.
They sure did.
Yeah, I loved it actually.
And then they cut into Jin's shirt on the shoulders.
Yeah.
It did not come that way from System. I thought that was really funny.
Wait, Jin's shirt had a cut?
It
yeah,
was
on
like
his shoulders.
it was a cold shoulder shirt now. It was open right here.
Because his shoulders were too broad for that shirt. It's funny.
I pay attention to the face and I forget about the clothing.
I don't have that problem.
Mm-mm. He really does have massive shoulders, though.
He does. That reminds me of that Run episode where he was in the red dress on the treadmill, but they couldn't zip up the red dress.
Oh, yes.
Because
That's hilarious.
he's just so, and he was beautiful. Anyway.
And then they had their ending months before they performed Spring Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What stood out to me was when Junie said, "It's scary to think this may be the future of concerts." I wrote that down because I just thought that was really true. And it's going to be interesting to see how all groups move forward in this time, but especially them.
I'm going to need that not to be the future of concerts, though, because I was thinking about it today at work because I was listening to them while I was doing inventory, and just my heart breaking a little bit because just the thought of not being able to see live music, and especially never getting to see BTS, just something internally screams and cries over it. I don't want that to be the future of concerts.
Neither do I.
Yeah, even though my subs were lacking during the ending minutes, even if I didn't know exactly what they were saying, you could just see in their face, and they all genuinely looked a little sad.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see that side of some of them. There's a clip of Jin who legit had tears in his eyes and was choking up a little, and we don't see that, and that hits way too hard. To think about how hard they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Because ARMY gives them so much energy. And to cut that from the equation, it's clear that they feel it. Our absence was felt by those 7 boys on the stage. They had even said, one of them had even said that he felt a little more tired than he usually does, or just fatigued because we weren't there cheering them on because they get so much energy from us.
They miss us just as much as we miss them.
And how do we fix it? Because there's nothing that we can do. We're here on this side, and I think all of us would give them all of the love and support, and I would send you a voicemail every single day if I could.
Yeah.
So
you know
how
what?
do we fix that broken part? They can give us all this content, but how do we give it back to them?
I was even thinking yesterday, I would love for them to go somewhere, anywhere. Send them over to New Zealand, where they just had their first sporting event, their first rugby event, and to a packed stadium. And they all sat in their regular seats and they didn't have to wear masks. And I thought, can we send them somewhere like there for them to perform? I want that so badly for them to have ARMY watching them. And I wouldn't even feel bad that it wasn't me for the time being,
right.
But just to be able to give them that moment that they desperately want.
Even if it wasn't on such a large scale. I know they're selling out stadiums, and that maybe isn't a realistic concert type, especially given everything going on right now. But if they could just perform in front of a live audience, I think that would make a world of difference to them.
I agree.
I'm hoping that Korea's been doing so well with COVID. I'm hoping that maybe in 6 months or 9 months, they might be able to at least perform there.
Let's hope so. I don't know how we're all going to make it through another 6 or 9 months or year of this. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. This really drove it home. This concert really just made me start focusing on everything that's happened and how are we going to move forward.
I don't like this new normal. It sucks.
It really does.
It does.
Yeah, it stinks.
It is definitely not what we all wanted. 2020 has not been the year. Can we get a refund, basically?
Yeah, I saw a meme. I sent it to my mom, and it said, "I wonder if that offer is still on the table for my mom to slap me into next year."
Love it.
I saw that too.
Oh, that's great.
Cute.
Oh, wow.
I did love their interaction though with Army when they had the staring game. We all know how our golden matinee, he's competitive, right? He was staring up until maybe the 14th second when he decided to blink and pretend that he had lost to Army. It was the cutest.
That was very cute. Kay didn't even try. He started laughing 6 seconds in.
I know. I was like, did we realize he just blinked? And then he kept staring for a little bit. And then I think someone had made a comment to him that he blinked and he's, oh, sorry.
You're talking about International Army. This was like an equalizer for the ones who don't get to go to a live concert. So we all saw the same thing. Nobody had to be left out and sad because, we can't get to go there, we can't get to see them. All saw the same thing on the screen.
That is true. That's a good way to look at it.
And you know what? Speaking of, I loved how inclusive V was because we all know how thoughtful he is, right? And at one point he did a sign language to mean together. That is so sweet.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That is really sweet.
I actually didn't notice it either until I think it might have been Martina that had shared it on our chat. It was a little snippet on Twitter. It's so sweet.
He's been doing sign language. So he did a
The
sign.
applause.
Yeah, he did a sign at the graduation, and then he did a couple of signs throughout the live. And I can't remember for the life of me what they were, but I do remember seeing them. And wow, that's cool. I don't know to what extent he knows sign language, but even the fact that he's doing some signs is cool.
He really is a good boy.
He has such a big heart. What was after Spring Day?
Well, we haven't talked about Spring Day yet. It's the end.
Oh.
The end was Spring Day, sadly.
In my fantasy world, the concert went on really long.
I think I would have been more emotional watching this Spring Day if they hadn't done it at the grad event, because I was so blown away they did it at the grad event.
Surprising no one, I cried all through Spring Day. The waterworks were on. It started, and I was like, oh, not again. Here we go. Plus, it was the last song, and it was really moving. And Spring Day has always been my favorite song. So the fact that I'm seeing them perform it now, just something else.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to see the choreography, and the set was gorgeous.
Definitely.
All the confetti coming down. So I'm going to call them cherry blossoms. Those are the cherry blossoms that I didn't get to go see. So I enjoyed that part. And yes, Spring Day I keep thinking, is it my favorite song? And I think it really is my favorite BTS song. Although I do have a lot of favorite ones. But I think that will be because I really love it. But I do have a lot of favorites. There isn't one that I don't like, really. But I think Spring Day, it's the queen she is.
Yes. Long live the queen. And just the first line of the song, Bogo Shipta, I miss you. Oh,
Yeah.
you.
And
That part hit me.
And it usually doesn't hit me, but in our circumstances, hearing that line, this is too much. I'm so sad.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why they chose this song specifically, because of that part of
That
the
line.
lyrics, Fogoshita.
They were singing it to us.
Yeah, that probably did not help my flood of tears as they were leaving after that, because I miss them too.
Yeah. I did see a funny comment the other day. Someone said, Spring Day is a zombie. It never dies, because you always hear this song coming back. But the thing is, we never get tired of it. I enjoy it just as much as when I first heard it. I never get tired of this song. And again, I keep thinking, Fogoshita. Sometimes I forget the song is called Spring Day. Sometimes I say, Fogoshita song.
Yeah.
It was beautiful and a little heartbreaking.
I think it made me more emotional to think about, we don't know when we're seeing them again. The beginning of the year, stuff was not at peak craziness, but we knew comeback was happening, and then comeback was happening, and then things started progressively getting crazier and crazier, but we're like, okay, we've got this Fest is coming, and then there are Bang Bang Live's coming, and we had the first Bang Bang Con with all the old content, and now we don't know, right? I'm sure they're not going away, right? We'll probably get some random YouTube Live or V Live next week, but we don't know when. And it's just hurts.
The reality is setting in for me, because I remember when they canceled their concerts in Korea, I was like, oh man, that really stinks. But our concert, well, it's in May, June. It'll be fine. And then here we are, and it's mid-June, and we are no closer to the finish line with this dang corona than some army out there, some army physician. Army can do anything. I hope somebody will get us a vaccine stat. We need it bad.
I was just thinking they're probably getting ready for the Japanese album release. We'll probably get a lot of media for that.
Pre-recorded. I agree. I'm sure we'll be getting a music video, right? Maybe even 2. So that's exciting. And I appreciated last summer when Lights came out, so I have high hopes for a lot of their Japanese songs. I have a lot of favorite songs. I'm with Martina. But a lot of the Japanese original songs are my favorite. So I have high hopes for that. But it's so different not to know that, oh, well, even though I'm not going to be at this concert, there's going to be footage galore next weekend because they're performing this location. And then 2 weeks from now, they're at that location. And do we get a muster this year, right? Or is it postponed? I don't know. Try and be optimistic about it, but it makes me sad in my BTS heart.
It is hard to be optimistic. Like, you want to be. We all want to be optimistic about it. But I think the longer this goes on, the more we're all questioning. But they're not going anywhere, and they're going to keep giving us as much content as they can, I think, until we can come up with a better solution. I just wish that there were a way that we could give it back to them. I feel like that's the broken piece right now. And I just wish there was some way to fix it, because I feel like they just need that something from us that they're not getting.
Maybe Weavers could do that letter thing again. Remember, was it last summer?
Yeah.
Where you could submit a letter and they printed it all out, and it was at some location in Seoul, and the guys got to go see. I mean, I don't know that they sat and read all of those letters, but it's something.
I bet they did. I'm even wondering if there's a way that if Army could upload Zooms like this and send it to them.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be great.
Record our method. Can we send them
Let
this?
me fix my hair. Put some makeup on.
Yeah.
We're showing our merch and our headbands and our t-shirts, and just letting them know we're here, and this is us looking into your eyes. Remember, Taeyang was saying, I want to look into your eyes again and see you. And if we could somehow send them these messages, I think that would just fill their hearts.
Couldn't we collect these and put them out
Put
there?
them together?
Put them on Google Drive.
Oh, I wonder if there's a way to submit that with their survey.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I
Wait, Big Hit.
mean, there's emails to Big Hit. People
I was about to
report
say,
all
yeah,
kinds of
Big Hit
stuff.
has an email.
So like
Yeah.
maybe I mean there's no guarantee it gets to them,
Yeah.
but
It's worth
can
it.
try.
couldn't we
Let's
try?
do it.
Let's try. Let's try.
Yes.
I mean, it can start with the 6 of us, and then maybe we can, hey, listeners, if you'd like to join in, send us an email.
Mm-hmm.
And then just get some folks. And I mean, I don't know.
This is
I don't
great.
know anything about video editing, but I'll figure it out.
Right,
Like, we can figure it out. We could just put a bunch of
Google
snippets
it.
of people together and just send it.
I think
I don't
we should
know.
do it.
I think we could
I
make it
definitely
happen.
think we should do it.
I try to get millions of emails every day, but we'll be optimistic that we're that one email they click on.
You know, we can post it on YouTube. We know that the guys are on social media, right?
Yeah.
Whether they have
Yeah.
private, personal accounts, I'm not trying to speculate, but they talk about YouTube, they talk about Twitter, they talk about Instagram and TikTok. We can at least potentially get.
We could start on our YouTube site.
Right? At the start.
And then,
You guys realize though that would mean you're all having to show your faces. So just
It's
think
okay.
about that. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't care.
For
It doesn't
BTS,
bother me.
I don't care.
put myself out there for BTS.
And I'm a little too late for that.
I'm
Yeah,
like
you are.
super late. Several decades late.
We could always wear face masks and hats.
That is true. I mean,
I mean, really.
The little sunglasses with the nose and the mustache.
give a
I mean, you could
Snapchat
just wear
filter on.
wear your face mask. Just
There you go.
you know.
Put on a hat and a face mask.
BTS Army Love in the time of Corona.
I love it. We need
Oh
to
my
come
God,
up
it's
with
like that
something
book,
catchy.
Love in the Time of Cholera.
Exactly. Going for. High five, Deanne. You get me.
What I saw on Twitter, that I guess they were deciding that everyone should get their army bomb, say the fan chant, and send it in, and they're going to gather it up together and try to get it to them.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that too.
I like
Because
that.
it was-
I've heard of that one.
It was sad a little bit and cute to see them do their own fan chant.
I was thinking the
during the-
same.
I was like, what? Kim Namjoon? They're going to do the fan chant?
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
We have a plan, girls.
We have
We
a
do.
plan. It needs to be sussed out just a little bit more, but we have the
Right.
beginnings
For
of
sure.
a really good plan.
It's just like any birthday project or whatnot that happens for the guys, right? I mean, they see some of them. So why not ours?
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're going to see it. I know it.
I love this optimism. Yay!
I think we all needed something to be optimistic about,
Yes.
so this is going to be
Yes.
it. This will be the thing.
We just want to share some light, spread some love, and give back to them in a way that, I mean, it's been one-sided. They give and they give and they give, and then right now with not being able to perform in front of us physically is really hard for them. So I just want to fill their bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Yeah. And I do love that Army's been sending in pictures to these medias about their birthdays. It's been so cute watching that. So they
I
know
still
I'm
haven't
thinking
seen
of them.
Jimin. Is it Jimin? I still haven't seen Jimin.
Someone
I think
I
get
haven't
everybody
together.
else.
either.
Maybe
You've
we
seen
should do that.
Tay?
Mhm.
Yes, I think I saw
Oh.
Tay. No, maybe I haven't seen Tay and Jimin.
I know for sure. I've only seen Jungkook and Jen. I haven't seen the other ones.
J-Hope had one because they took his little
the
birthday photo
cake.
from Ego. Yeah. And Jin graduated college. And Jungkook graduated high school.
And he also
And then
turned
there was also
4 or
birth-
5.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's also a birthday one. That's cute though. I like it.
Thank you joining us for this episode of Bangtan and Borahae. You can find us on Twitter at Borahae Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook at Bangtan and Borahae, and our email is bangtanandborahae@gmail.com.